Jai Hind, dear children. In this video, we are continuing with the Mendel's experiment on pea plants.
Now, let us discuss or study about the breeding experiments done by Mendel in Pisum sativa. Mendel selected 7 contrasting characters which are having two contrasting traits. So, these are the characters or the contrasting characters selected by Mendel. One character is the height of the plant. So this height of the plant will be having two contrasting traits, and of these two contrasting traits, one trait is dominant and another one is recessive. The tallness is dominant and dwarfness is recessive, and is represented by capital T and small t. Each one is represented by corresponding alphabetic letters. The next one is flower color. The two colors are produced by two colored flowers are produced by pea plant. One is violet and one is white, and the violet is dominant and the white is the recessive. The flower position. Next is flower position. The flowers are produced in the pea plant in two positions. One is axial, that is on the axial side of the leaf, and one is terminal at the tip portion of the pea plant. So mostly we can see the axial position. So axial is the dominant, axial position of flowering is the dominant character, and this terminal flowering is the recessive one. And the color of seeds. We can see two colors, seeds in two colors, yellow and green. Yellow is the dominant character and the green is the recessive character. Next is shape of seed. There are two shapes. The seeds are in two shapes. Mostly they are seen in round shape, and rarely they are seen in wrinkled shape. So round is dominant and wrinkled is recessive. And the shape of pod. The pods, the pod in which the seed are enclosed. So that pods are inflated or fully. We can see it as a round or flattened structure, and the other one is constricted. We can see some constrictions on the pod. Color of the pod is the next character, and in this mostly the pod color are green in color, and rarely we can see yellow. So dominant one is the green color and yellow is the recessive color. So these are the characters considered, taken by the Mendel for doing his experiments in pea plant. Mendel conducted the breeding experiments in 3 steps in pea plants. The first step is selection of pure parent plant. One will be the pure dominant plant and the other will be the pure recessive plant. So pure means if we allow the pure plants to self-pollinate and produce further generations, it will show the same characteristics of that particular dominant plant. That such plants are called as pure plants. So first step is the selection of pure parent plants. We select one dominant plant and one recessive character. Next step is the production of first generations by cross-pollinating these parent plants. These parent plants are cross-pollinated artificially. How it is done? When the plants produce the flowers, the anthers, the stamen of the flowers will be removed, and that particular flowers, on that particular flowers, the stamens of the other plant, the other parent plant will be dusted over and will be tied. So that particular seeds produced from that particular flower will be having the characters of both the parent plants. So that is how cross-pollination is done. And that process of removing the stamen and removing the stamen from a flower and cross-pollinating, it is called as emasculation. So in this step, some plants are produced which are having the characteristics of both the parent plants. No, that are called as F1 generations, or the first filial generations. Next, the third step is the production of the next generation, that is the second generation or the F2 generations or second filial generations. How? By allowing them to self-pollinate. By allowing each plant to self-pollinate and produce the next generation. So these are the 3 steps followed by Mendel to do his experiments to find out the inheritance of characters in the pea plant generation after generations. So here I said the parent plants, the parent or the parent generation. The parent generations are the organisms taken as the parent to produce next generations. Now, what is filial generations? The offsprings or the progeny produced from the parent generations are called as filial generations. So, from a parent generation, so many filial generations can be produced. First filial generation F1 generations, second filial generation F2 generations, and so on we can produce. And by producing these generations, we can find the inheritance of characters generation after generation. This is how Mendel conducted his experiments. While performing these crossbreedings, Mendel first considered only one character with 2 contrasting traits. For example, he considered only the character height. This particular character is showing 2 contrasting traits, that is tallness and dwarfness. So the cross in which only one character is considered or one character is taken is known as monohybrid cross. Mendel also made cross breedings considering 2 characters, 3 characters and so on. The cross breedings in which 2 characters are considered are called as dihybrid cross. Now first let us discuss about the monohybrid cross. So monohybrid cross means only one character is considered. For doing this crossbreeding or monohybrid cross, Mendel took the character height, and Mendel first selected a pure tall plant and a pure dwarf plant for doing this cross. So the phenotype of this plant is tall plant, and the phenotype of this plant is dwarf plant. Now, when we write the genotype, so the parental generation is pure tall plant and pure dwarf plant, and the genotype of this pure tall plant, how will you write it? For tallness, the alphabet T is used, and we cannot write a single T here. It should be written as pairs because the homologous chromosomes are seen in pairs. So we can give it as pure tall plant. So we can give the two alleles will be tall. So capital T and capital T. Here for this dwarf plant, what is the genotype for dwarf plant? So the corresponding alphabet should be given, and if dwarfness is shown, the 2 alleles will be recessive. Then only it will show the dwarfness. So you can write there small t, small t. We humans have 46 chromosomes or 23 pair of chromosomes. During the time of gamete formation, what happens there? Meiotic division takes place in the reproductive cells, or reduction division takes place in the reproductive cells, and the reproductive cell undergoes meiotic division and divides into 4 cells. Each cell will be having the half number of chromosomes. So as a result of meiotic division, the gametes are produced, and the gametes will be having only the half number of chromosomes. If 46 chromosomes are there, the gametes will be having only 23 chromosomes. And when the male gamete and the female gamete are having the 23 chromosomes each, when fused together, will get the 46 chromosomes, and there forms the 23 pair of chromosomes. So like that, in pea plant also, at the time of gamete formation, the reproductive cells undergoes meiotic division, and what are produced? Gametes are produced, and in that gametes only half number of chromosomes will be there. So the next step, we can write the gametes. So during the reproduction time, gametes will be formed. So in the gametes, how many chromosomes will be there? Only half number of chromosomes. So we can write only one T and put a circle. When writing the gametes, you have to put a circle, or it should be enclosed in a circle. And here, what about the dwarf plant? It also undergoes meiotic division, and the gametes are produced, and the gametes will be having only half the number of chromosomes. Now, the next step, so selection of parent plant is there. The next step, what is the next step? Cross-pollinating the parent generation. These pea plants are allowed to cross-pollinate, and the next generations are produced. So, here we can do the next step is cross-pollinating. When, as a result of cross-pollination, this gametes and this gamete fuse together to form what? Fuse together to form another organism, another individual, or next generation. And this next generation is called as F1 generation. F1 generation. So, the first generation pea plants will be having the characteristics of both the parent plants. So, they can be called as hybrids. They can be called as hybrids. They are not pure. They are having both the alleles, both the different alleles. One allele is capital T, that shows tallness, and the other allele is small t, that shows the dwarfness. Then also, the phenotype of the plant will be tall. Why? Because there is a presence of dominant gene, and this dominant gene suppresses or masks this recessive gene, and dominant genes will be expressed. See how these characters are expressed. So we have already discussed that the genes or the DNA codes for a protein, and if these proteins are produced properly, for example, if the height of the plant is taken, how some of the plants have more height and how some of the plants are shorter in size? Because in the tall plant, see, the tallness depends upon the plant hormones. The plant hormones such as auxins, gibberellins, etc. initiates the growth, or they are the growth hormones which provides the tallness for the particular plant. The DNA molecules codes for the proteins, and this proteins triggers the production of growth hormones or enzymes in the plant. And the enzymes for the growth hormone or the tallness, if the growth hormones for increasing the height are produced properly or efficiently, what will be increased? The tallness will be, the plant will become tall. And if the genes have some alterations, these proteins will not be coded properly. The DNA molecules will not code the proteins properly, and in that particular plant, the growth hormone will not be produced properly. So the growth hormone will be less efficient in that particular plants, and that plants will be short in size or dwarf in size. This is how the genes or the proteins control the characteristics. So for each and every characteristics, this happens. This is how the genes control the particular traits in each and every organisms. So, here we obtain the F1 generations or hybrid plants, which is having the both tallness and both the dominant and recessive character. So, we call it as the hybrids, which is produced from the pure parent plants. Now, the next step, what is the next step? The first step is selection of parent plants. Second step is producing F1 generation by cross-pollinating the parent plants. And the third step is allowing the F1 generations to self-pollinate. So, next step is self-pollinating F1 generations. So, in a plant which produce the bisexual flowers, the bisexual flowers will be having both the male reproductive organ, that is the stamen, and the female reproductive organ, that is the pistil. The pistil contains the ovules and the stamens contains the pollen grains. So we can take the male reproductive part and the female reproductive part as the two individuals. So if we take capital T, small t as the male and capital T, again the same plant, no, same generation, no. So again capital T and small t as the female plant or female organ. What is the next step? This is the F1 generation. There is no space, so I wrote it here. So this is the F1 generation hybrid plants. This is the male. This is taken as the male plant, male, and this is taken as the female. So, what are the possible gametes produced? Here, two gametes are possible. The possibility of two gametes are there. One will be the capital T and one is the dominant gene and one is the recessive gene. And here also, the possibility of two gametes, production of two gametes, and that may be capital T or small t. So next is the fusion, fertilization. So these gametes undergo fusion. What are the possible fertilizations or what are the possible fusions? The chromosomes containing this gene can fuse with this gene. So what is formed? Capital T, capital T. Now, another possible fusion. What is another possible fusion? The gametes containing this gene can cross with or fuse with this gamete. So what will be the result? The plant will be having the gene capital T and small t again. The next possible fusion. This gamete can fuse with this gamete. So what is the possible? Capital T, so small t, capital T. So we can write it as capital T, small t. Now, the next one, gamete may also fuse with this gamete. Both the gametes are having the recessive gene, that is small t, small t. So, what are the fields? This is the what generation? F2 generation. F2 generations. So, in the F2 generations, the plants produced are having different combinations of genes. The first one is having the combination of two dominant genes. So this is the genotype. This is the genotype. So now let us write the phenotype of this plant. So this can be written as tall plant. Okay. Now, what is this combination? Capital T. The genes are capital T and small t. Both the genes of tallness and dwarfness are there. But as the capital T is there, it dominates the dwarfness. So that also can be written as, that also will be a tall plant. Now, here also one capital T and small t. So again that also will be a tall plant. Now here, both the genes are recessive. So it will be a dwarf. It will be a dwarf plant which is similar to that of the parent generation, one of the parent generation. So here see how many tall plants we got and how many dwarf plants. The phenotype. How many tall plants we got? We got 3 tall plants. 3 tall plants and 1 dwarf plant in the F2 generation. 3 tall plants and 1 dwarf plant in the F2 generation. And this is called as the phenotypic ratio of this monohybrid cross. What is it? Phenotypic ratio. So what is the phenotypic ratio of a monohybrid cross? 3:1. If the flower color is taken, we can write the, so we will get a ratio of 3 purple or 3 violet is to 1 white. So 3 dominant character is to 1 recessive character we will get. Okay. So, but see, when these hybrid plants are crossed, we get this tall plants and dwarf plants. No? The parent plants are, one is pure tall plant and one is pure dwarf plant. So when we cross one pure dwarf plant and pure tall plant, we get the first generation as hybrids, both having the tall and the plant having the both tall and dwarf characters. And when these tall plants are allowed to self-pollinate, we get tall plants and the dwarf plants, which are not there in the F1 generation. The dwarf plants are not there in the F1 generation. Then how this dwarfness is shown in the F2 generation? So from this we can understand that from the parental generation the dwarfness is there, and that particular gene for the dwarfness is carried or transferred to the next generation, and that is not expressed, that is suppressed in the F1 generation. And this F1 generation, when allowed to self-pollinate, that is shown in the F2 generation. And when this F1 generation, which is allowed to self-pollinate, and F2 generations are produced, we got tall plants and the dwarf plants as like that of the parental generation. That means Mendel explained this, that from the parental generation, some factors are there which are transferred to the F1 generation, and in the F1 generation they are not expressed, and from the F1 generation, from that particular F1 generation plants which are not expressed and which are kept suppressed is transferred to the next generation and is expressed. So there is a factor which carries these characters of all the individuals, and it is transferred from one generation to the another generation, subsequent generations. And in this cross, Mendel explained that in the F1 generation, only the dominant traits are expressed. So in this monohybrid cross, F1 generation, all tall plants are produced, and in F2 generation, we got 3 tall plants and 1 dwarf plant. Phenotypically, we can write the ratio, phenotypic ratio as 3 tall is to 1 dwarf. 3 tall is to 1 dwarf. And how will you write the genotypic ratio? That is the genetic representation. We can write the genetic representation as 1 capital T, 1 is to 2 hybrid plants, that is 2 plants with 2 contrasting genes. So we can write as 2 tall plants is to 1 dwarf. After producing the F2 generation of a monohybrid cross, using the height as the character, we got 3 tall plants and 1 dwarf. So we can write the phenotypic ratio of the monohybrid cross as 3:1. That is 3 tall is to 1. The physical appearance of a plant is called as a phenotypic. So we can write the physical appearance as 3:1. What about the genetic representation of this phenotypic plants of this character? The genetic representation is 1 capital T, 2 capital T small t, and 1 small t. So we can write the genotypic ratio of a monohybrid cross as 1:2:1. Now we have done the monohybrid cross using the character height, isn't it? We can take any other, if we take any other character in the monohybrid cross, the ratio of the phenotypic ratio and the genotypic ratio will be same. The phenotypic ratio will be 3:1 and the genotypic ratio will be 1:2:1.
This is how you have to write the monohybrid cross.
So children, I hope you all understood the contents that we have discussed today. What all we have discussed? We have discussed why Mendel selected the Pisum sativum for his crossbreedings or experiments. Which are the contrasting characters considered by the Mendel for doing his experiments? What are the steps followed by Mendel for doing his experiments? And how he done the monohybrid cross and obtained the F1 and F2 generations and the phenotypic and genotypic ratio of the monohybrid cross. And we studied so many terms also as alleles, genotype, phenotype, recessive gene, dominant gene, parallel generations, filial generations, and so on. So I hope all of you understood the contents that we have discussed today. Read the textbook thoroughly and prepare the notes. Thank you.